Again, I do not wish to press charges on anybody. Well, I do, but I tried and no one came to my prevail. So this is Albuquerque's government, Dirty Little Secret Part 2, the secret that they'd kill me to keep. Now, when I was 6 years old, starting with Clovis, New Mexico, we'll include that one in on this one too. Uh, I was 2 hours before then. I was at school in this first grade, and a officer came up there, Officer Friendly, serve and protect, and to give an oath for you with his life and all this good stuff. And then he turns around and tells me that Mr. Good, not even Mr. Goodman, he just said, "Hey boy, come here. What's a good nigger? A dead nigger. If your dad continues his lawsuit, you won't make it home from school one day." My dad was suing him because he had cut his finger off in the jail cell door, and he was suing him for it. And they came after me. My name is Roy Lester Goodman Jr., the first. And they came after me when I was 6 years old and threatened my life, run across in my yard that night and pounced around our house with their lights flashing and stuff. And they were outside, and I was 6 years old, and we were all in the living room. I went to prison at 32 years old, and that for 5 years I didn't supposed to go. I was found incompetent. They said I was competent. I've got the paperwork from Dr. Fink himself, where Clovis Jail had beat me so bad one time that I had 72 hours to live. My heart rate was near to none. My lips were purple. My body was gray, and I was cold. And they said I had approximately, at the most, 72 hours to live if they didn't get me to the hospital. The Lieutenant Larry turned to them and told them to leave, and then looked at I don't want to die alone. And this little 18-year-old, 19-year-old boy came to sit with me, and he was so heard about it. Dude, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when you were holding housing for everyone to thank you for getting them housing for housing that you founded, and I got housing through there. And I told you about how they broke my neck and they drugged me on the freeway, and I told you about how Officer Chris was coming down on my neck. I told you everything. Judge Fitzwater's court, how they found an officer to put on emergency administrative paid leave for tasing me, but then all of a sudden he was never put on emergency leave. He was found to be used the proper taser, and he did it all correct. And this was also signed off by the Chief of Police, Chief of Internal Affairs, okay, Mayor, and you said you didn't know. And this is on Action 7 News was there, and they filmed it. So you do know now what happened. If you didn't know then, because I told you, I also had a summons with your name on it, Mayor. And you told me you didn't get it because it was dismissed with prejudice. It's over them breaking my neck and tasing me and dragging me on the freeway, mainly over breaking my neck. And you said you didn't know nothing about it. And I was explaining to you how Officer Chris came down my neck and everything else. And lieutenants, or actually just some detectives came by to talk to me after a meeting with you. You told my caseworker that I was going to be able to talk to you, to call you and set up a time so we can discuss this. And like I said, you haven't even given me a dime, not a penny. You didn't even say sorry. And you were petting the dog more than you were petting me. And that hurt my feelings real bad. But what I really want to know is, how can you people do these things to people? And I sit there and watch on TV where you're worried about a dog, or you're worried about this, or even a woman about her hat. And here's a man getting beaten within lives, inches, seconds of his life. Okay, being drugged over 30 miles by his hog tie on the freeway. Okay, from the on-ramp from the jail that's out there by the city dump. Okay, all the way downtown to 12th and 6th Street, 6th and 4th Street, when they were finally cut off by somebody. Now, this is being drugged by my hog tie by the back tire while I'm inside the car. They turned the radio on to keep from hearing the sound. Tased at the Presbyterian so hard, even the last time the officer tased me, I was already strapped to the bed, and they were standing at the door laughing like it was Def Comedy Jam. I remember they just laughing, thinking it was funny on how they tased me. Him and 2 security guards, a little short one and a tall one. And in Judge Fitzwater's court, you will find me put on emergency administrative paid leave and pending an investigation. I even pointed out the officer, the sergeant that drug me with a hog tie on the freeway. He had blonde curly hair, and I pointed him out. And they had a whole bunch of officers up there, and you weren't in there, Alanal. You weren't there. Okay, and they switched to security guards. And I knew that those weren't the right security guards. I knew everything. My attorney, Peter Ball, well-respected attorney, the courts, Judge Fitzwater, you said it yourself, y'all did, DA, all of you. And we're talking head DA. All of y'all head detectives, y'all signed off on that warrant, Judge Fitzwater, for better upon a police officer. And he was being put on emergency paid leave and been an investigation because he lied. I did not attack him. I was standing sideways facing my bed looking down when he hit me with the taser. And he hit me 5 times. And y'all said it was unauthorized taser afterwards. A week later, to walk. That's job was, do I get any money? Anything? Y'all told me, well, we're sorry, Mr. Gibbons. We thought you were here to, okay, to just make sure that you were okay. That's it. We don't have no records of him being found guilty. He was found guilty, Mr. Gibbons. He was found innocent. Okay. I had an attack right there at the floors of the internal fair building right across from the sheriff and the police station, and I had an attack right there in front of y'all, and I was so tired and weak, y'all made me walk home. I had to walk from 4th downtown all the way to Gibson and San Mateo. That's over 5-6 miles, easy. It's halfway across the town. So I would like to let you know this, and now you know a little bit. Have you watched? Tomorrow there'll even be more for you to watch, because I think I'm going to end this one and I'm going to start a new one. But remember, Albuquerque's government, dirty little secret. They even the secret that they kill me to keep. Part 2.